I seem to be having some issues with my tripod, and I guess I'm accidentally sort of doing like one of those Vlogmas episodes because I think I'm just going to do episodes like back to back. So this past week, well, I was thinking about making like a Disney like vlog video originally, and while I did take some footage of my recent Disneyland trip, I was just like, you know what, I don't really feel like doing this. However, I did get some stuff. Also, as soon as I got back from Disney, I immediately worked the entire rest of the week, and I was working really long hours, so I just did not have the energy to do it. But I did do a couple of things on accident and not on accident. But I guess I just want to show while I'm here, let me just show you, I guess, what it is that I got at Disney, because that's always fun. So I got some Star Wars earrings for my birthday. My coworkers got me a Disneyland gift card or Disney gift card, whatever, and they're all really big Star Wars fans. So I used their gift card on some Star Wars earrings, and I promptly wore those all week long. And then my mother-in-law got me this cute little mug, and that's nice. I've actually seen this mug before, and I was like, no, I don't deserve it. I shouldn't get it. So I didn't buy it. So I'm glad that I didn't buy it because she bought it for me, and I just love it because I love Mufasa, and I think Mufasa needs more merchandise. If you are new to this channel, you can probably tell that I am a little bit of a Simba collector. So everything else, the rest that I got is pretty much in this bag. I did get a sweatshirt as well that I'm wearing. I'm wearing it right now, but it's a Lion King sweatshirt. And they had a Spirit jersey, but it was just a lot of red, and I'm not that much of a red person, unfortunately. But I got one keychain. I don't know what fire sign means, but it was a Lion King keychain that I got it. And I got quite a few, look at the size of that one, pens here. I mean, the movie's quite old. It's kind of hard to find merchandise for it, but they do have a lot in pens. So at this point, I kind of have a decent sized Lion King pen collection. Is that all that I got? I think that that's pretty much it that I bought. So now, let me know. I already kind of asked on Twitter, but now I'm thinking I need to buy like one of those pegboards to display these pens on, because I have another bowl in the other room just full of Simba pens, and that's primarily what I got. While I was there as well, this is not something that I bought or even necessarily wanted. They were like throwing these little print posters out. The workers were for the movie Wish. I saw that movie. I was very disappointed, but a free poster. I'm okay with the free poster. That was nice. And also, while stopped at Walmart, this is not Disneyland. I found these little sticky notes. It's cute little Simba up there. So, but that's all. That's all the Lion King stuff that I got. And then when I came back into town, on my front porch waiting for me, who knows how long I'd been there. In my last video, I did a Grabby video where Grabby sent me like a stationery box. And I said I was missing something. Something hadn't arrived, and I finally got it. So Grabby had sent me another acrylic marker set. And these I used in a previous video, and I did go ahead and I had to make a TikTok video for it as well. So I did that. But I actually do kind of like these acrylic paint markers. I don't think that they're horribly bad. I don't know enough about like the specifics. Well, maybe if I read that little manual packet thing in there, like, you know, if you're a professional and you're worried about like light fastness, oh my gosh, hard to say. I'm not sure about the specifics of them, but I kind of, at the moment, this is going to sound bad, these are kind of some of the best acrylic markers that I currently own, and I own several different brands. So, but then again, I've only had them for, you know, a couple of months now, but so far these are kind of decent. Like, they activate quickly. You don't have to like really struggle to get them to reactivate, and then having to do like, you know, the pumping motion and to get the ink to get to the tip. Like, they seem pretty reliable, because I've kind of been struggling, because I have a few other brands and they've just kind of been like a struggle. So these are not bad, but the reason why Grabby sent this to me was because this one now comes with a drawing pad. This is like a multi-color sheet drawing pad, just a little thing. It now comes packaged inside here. It like comes in the back of here. and it fits just perfectly in there. So just like a little drawing book, but this was supposed to be a box set, like I said, with a stationery thing, and it just came separately. So I did that TikTok for it, and I just kind of did like little doodles in there. Nothing much, nothing serious. The other thing that was supposed to arrive while I was gone, but it magically has not gotten here yet, is I had ordered a Copic crate, and it's missing in action. So I've unfortunately read like everybody else's reviews on the Copic crates, and they've been very mixed reactions. I've seen lots of people disappointed, but mine's not even here, so I can't judge it. But I had, before I went to Disney, I had doodled a little illustration here, and I had kind of planned on maybe doing it with the new Copic markers that came in, depending on what their colors were. But alas, again, they're not here, so I used the alcohol markers that I already own, because I already have kind of quite the alcohol marker collection, and I just colored it in with the markers that I own. So I just finished this, pardon my voice, I just finished this today, and I actually think it's kind of cute. It's kind of an accidental doodle gone awry, but I think she came out pretty good. I do like, if I could, I keep saying this, but if I could collect more things, if I had more money, more space, I would collect, on top of the Lion King stuff I would collect a Sailor Moon and Bambi and probably Tangled products. But alas, I don't have that much. I have to pick and choose my hoard. So we did that. And then I had every intention today, let me grab this bag. It's Christmas Eve, so I had every intention of just like sitting at home and just chilling by my lonesome. But I can't do that. Cannot sit still. So I was doing my regular internet browsing, and I came across these on the internet, and I was like, I have never seen this brand before. What is this? And I Googled it, and apparently it's available at Office Depot, Office Max. Hold on. Yeah. So Office Depot, and they are ready for pickup. And I was like, what in the world is this? I think I spent like $10 per item here, so they're not very expensive. But who is Brea Reese? Who is this? I have never heard of this person before, but she apparently has brand new line out of art supplies. She's got pastel markers, pastel watercolors, and then I got curious because they're alcohol markers as well. I have no idea who this person was. It doesn't necessarily mean anything because I only started collecting traditional art supplies within the past couple of years, so I don't know a lot of things, but it kind of reminded me of, like, is this the new Jane Davenport? I don't know. I kind of briefly saw a documentary on, not really a documentary, but like a YouTube insider documentary thing on Jane Davenport, and I wonder, is this like the replacement one? Is it like similar quality products? These markers kind of remind me of something you would find at like Five Below, and these actually kind of remind me of those other cheap watercolors. Ooh, what was the brand? I don't remember the brand, but I'll link it, my previous video on it, because I did do an illustration with those. But I wonder if this is by like the same manufacturer. But I don't know, it says it was made here in New Hampshire. So if anybody knows who this person is, let me know. Am I supposed to support them? Am I supposed to be happy for them? I'm just happy that they're pastel. So I am really just excited, and I couldn't wait to open these. But tomorrow is Christmas. I'm gonna open up my actual like Christmas gifts. At this point, I don't even remember what it is, some of them that I had packed for myself. But I know I got some art supplies for myself for Christmas, and we'll open those tomorrow. But we're gonna play with these right now. Just gonna swatch them out real quick because I'm really curious. I don't have an illustration to color in, so I just literally want to swatch these out, and I want to test these to see if these really are sort of decent alcohol markers. Why not? Again, these were only about like I think it's like $9.99 each. So I paid like $40 for all of these sets. This is my Ohuhu marker sketchbook journal, which I haven't opened in a long time now. Oh my gosh, getting out of the packaging. These do look so familiar, I just can't figure out from where. Oh my goodness, it's vibrant. I don't know why I wasn't expecting those to be as vibrant or as color matching of the markers as they are, but I don't necessarily think that's too bad. It does have, of course, like the broad tip. It would be nicer if this was a brush tip, but it's not. It's a bullet nib. You know, but like sometimes like the cheap alcohol markers are fine. Like I kind of enjoyed the skin tone set that I had gotten from Five Below those couple of years ago. So I've got the skin tone set here too at these ones. And it's just interesting because when I was a teenager, you know, like 20 years ago, oh my gosh, that I can say that. Like it was really difficult to get your hand on alcohol markers. You pretty much were kind of like Copic was like the end all be all, and they were really expensive, and if you couldn't get them, well, it just kind of, you know, sucked to be you. But all the impressive artists always had like the Copic markers, and they didn't have much else in the way of brands. But now you can find cheap knockoff versions of alcohol markers everywhere, and in a way I think that's really cool. I don't think that these are terrible for budget markers, because the only thing that would make them a little bit more like usable would be if they came in like a brush tip. Because Ohuhu is nice because they get so juicy. That brush tip just makes blending like so much easier, whereas having such blunt edges makes blending just a little bit more difficult. But I mean, like again, they're only like $10. They had a couple extra sets as well. Like I think they had a green one and a blue one. I don't know exactly how many total, like how wide of a range these come in. And these are my Five Below alcohol markers from a few years ago that still have juice in them. And I think these are the best things I've probably ever bought at Five Below. But that brush tip just makes all the difference. That first skin tone set, I think that pretty much covers a good chunk wide range of colors. Those are not bad. I don't know what I was expecting from this. I wasn't really expecting anything. I just saw them. I was like, I have never seen this brand before. They're cheap. Let me try and go get them. These ones are pastel markers, but I think these are just regular markers. I don't really know if they're supposed to be like highlighters or if they're gonna be what is it? How do I open you? You a highlighter? I don't know. They say just markers on them, so I think that they're highlighters. They look and they feel like highlighters. I may take these to work with me because we go through the highlighters a whole lot on like patient discharge instructions, highlighting the important stuff. But they kind of come in cute little package, but they act on here, it just looks like just highlighters. So that's interesting. I get incredibly frustrated when I cannot open packaging. Is anybody else? I do not have that other set anymore, and I'm too lazy to go back to get into my YouTube to look up to remember what it was called. But I feel like, are these not similar names? I don't know, it just looks so similar. I'm gonna pull out my other, this is the Strathmore Mixed Media white watercolor paper, the journal. This is the one that I did my swatches and stuff in from my previous videos. Other ones, okay. So not my favorite. I don't care for this sketchbook, but we're gonna swatch all of these out. I wonder if it's gonna be separated in the tube. Oh, I gotta puncture them all. Oh, no separation. It comes with a white, but I can't do that in a white journal. I do like my white watercolor though, and I judge it harshly. They just say professional, non-toxic, professional grade watercolor, highly pigmented. It doesn't say anything else though. Professional. This makes me so mad making a mess. I know artsy people usually don't mind making a mess out of stuff, but I don't. I really don't like being dirty. These swatches are coming out a hot mess because they're just making messes everywhere, and I'm trying to keep from making a mess by like pulling the paint out from wherever it's getting all over the tube, and I'm just throwing whatever paint is on the table But so far, no, these are not. In case you were curious, again, I'm not upset. I like to purchase cheap art supplies to try them. These are not professional grade watercolors. There's already like a noticeable difference in the quality of these versus actual. Gosh, see, that just makes me, how it just squirts out of there. I hate when this happens. Oh my gosh. And then I'm just trying to play like catch up to try and get on the page, and I got it down here. But yeah, there is a huge noticeable difference between these and just your standard watercolors, even the cheap ones that I already keep in my primary set. This is not lavender. It says lavender, but that is not lavender at all. And it's taking an eternity to dry too. Okay, this one's a kind of an ugly gray color, but I actually kind of do like that, but oh my goodness. These look a little bit like, I don't know how to explain it. So when I had first decided to try watercolor several years ago, my only understanding of what watercolor was like those little Crayola elementary school watercolors. And I just could not for the life of me comprehend how people were able to create art with watercolor, because again, I just thought of those watery down elementary school grade watercolors. And if I had picked up a watercolor set like this a few years ago, I probably never would have touched watercolor because they're pretty terrible. Again, Miss Reese, these are not professional watercolor paints. I feel like you've definitely mislabeled these. These are actually really, really bad watercolor paints. I'm trying to think of what else that I've had that has been this level. I think I got some Target brand watercolors, or maybe I did get some from like Five Below that were also really bad. I was capable of making something with them, but it wasn't great. These don't even dry correctly. Okay, I have literally just drawn this in like 5 minutes, so do not judge me. I really just want to know if I can even lay these watercolors down at all, because they are iffy. And this is the easiest thing that I can come up with. So we're just going to try and do real quick rainbow hair, some sort of a nice gradient, like how I expect for my professional colors to come out. And I feel like this is going to be terrible. Doesn't even look like it wants to show up on my tan paper. I honestly feel like the green is like the worst offender so far. Like, this is just like hideous. I don't have a good enough vocabulary to explain how I like for my watercolors to be, but I essentially just use watercolors and how they naturally dry on the paper to help me with things like my highlights and my shadows. And this is not doing it correctly. There's not enough color variation. And I feel like, oops, maybe I should have thrown in a pink. So maybe I'm going to destroy this on accident. Let's see. Goodness. I have zero hope. Oh gosh, and the white is already... Guys. This is the white watercolor. I just poked it. It is... You know when you let glue dry? Like Elmer's glue dry? That's what it was doing. That was so weird. I've never seen watercolor bubble up like a bubble before. It usually just dries kind of hard and then you can just reactivate it. Guys, these are so bad. All of them are kind of doing that glue thing. It's like when you let Elmer's glue dry. I've never seen watercolors do that before. These are terrible. These are... I feel so mean. This is like the worst watercolor set I think I've ever seen, I've ever used. And I think I could do better with Crayola, to be honest with you. Brea should be really ashamed. She should not put professional on her box at all. These should not even be gifted to children. Like, if you give these to your artistic 10-year-old, I would be so mad at you. They're so bad. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my regular watercolor palette, and these don't dry. Like, please just dry faster. what I think, yeah, I'm gonna just get my regular watercolor set real quick and throw down some colors just to see. We're just gonna finish it before the sun goes down. I've only been working on this for a few minutes and I'm so mad. It's funny. No, this is terrible. You are shameful. You're a shameful artist, whoever you are. Don't put professional on your paint palette stuff. Don't do that. So one of the primary problems I'm having with these watercolors is that they don't seem like they want to mix with anything. Like I tried to pull out my regular watercolor palette, the one that I normally use, and they just don't go. It's like they don't mix. It's very weird. I even really struggled to get colored pencil. I can't get colored pencil to color over them either. So they're like art supply phobic. It's so bizarre. These are honestly quite possibly the worst paints that I've ever used, which is really funny. You could honestly get the Prima Marketing Watercolor Confections watercolor set, which is one of my most used watercolor sets, or the pastel ones anyway. You could get those for maybe an additional $10 to what I paid for these ones. They're not that expensive, maybe a little bit more than $10. I think they retail for about $30 or something. But you can also get the White Nights watercolor pastel set for about like $35. So these are, they're not worth it. They're just so bad. Don't do it. Just save up a little bit more and get you a better discount watercolor set. So yeah, I do feel like these watercolors, they're holding me back a little bit. Can't even say that I did a good job anyway, because I mean, I tried to drown this in my regular watercolors and it just not working. Anywho, I'm gonna go now. I will see you guys again real soon. You guys have a good night and bye-bye.